to you in living color on NBC.
Hey, you! Welcome to the Grant Warloff Show, episode 318. It is March the 9th, 2017. It's Grant Orloff, once again. As darkness falls upon Gratuville, Pete the Cat is unleashed in the Silver Age room. Pete the Cat. How you doing, buddy? Pete the Cat. How you doing? Pete the Cat, what is your favorite comic book character? Pete the Cat. What do you think, man? I'ma pet you, Pete the Cat. Pete the Cat. Oh my god. Oh my god. Pete the Cat. What's the matter with you, motherfucker? Well... organizing Bronze Age comic books is my goal. All right, well, let's get to it. You know a comic box is old when it has a Reagan Bush 84 sticker. These are the well-built boxes. Well, we appear to be in the S's. These are comics that I've never shown you guys before, pretty sure. This is they did these back in the 70s, these reprints of Golden Age comics. They even reproduced the ads. The inside is black and white, though. Let's take a look, shall we? I haven't looked at this in years. This beautiful desk for only $1. Yeah. See, basically what it is the insides kind of look like pretty good for the era photocopies, but yeah, it's reprints. And there were a bunch of these they put out. Okay, what else we got? All of these comics are waiting to be bagged and boarded. They were bagged at one time, and then I removed the bags because they were getting old, and now they're awaiting the next stage of preservation. Well, here's the Silver Surfer. Remember, we're in the Bronze Age. We're not looking at the good stuff, in my opinion, from the Silver Age. But this is good. You know, it's just
one of the attempts to revive. Oh, it's John Byrne. Okay, so that's that. Silver Surfer versus Dracula. Don't really like this illustration on the cover much. I don't like how they drew Dracula. Looks like he has jaundice. Interesting. But inside is a reprint from an old issue of Tomb of Dracula. And then there's a reprint. There's some old vampire story from the 50s that looks like Dracula, or they may have recolored him to conform with the blue suit that, Dracula was always wearing. Tomb of Dracula. Then they have a Howard the Duck story in here. So this looks like it was like a 1990s kind of okay, bonus 3 weird vampire tales. Wait, 3 weird? There was Howard the Duck. What was the others? I thought I only saw 2 weird vampire tales. Oh, yeah, I missed this completely. This story here, Box of Doom. Well, I see why I bought this now. The cover doesn't look that appealing. I love that art. Yeah, is that Bill Everett? I think it is. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff they reprinted all the time in the early 70s in those comics, but
if they're not on Amazon,
yeah, man, that's cool.
Are crazy.
Okay, so I don't know what that is. And then here's 96, I guess, from that same Silver Surfer series. I guess I missed a few issues. I went from issue 1 to 96. Oops. And here's 99. Well, Silver Surfer went quite a ways. No pun intended from the cover illustration. I mean, the original run of Silver Surfer in the 60s only got, what, 18, 20 issues? Yeah, I think, as I recall, this flaming Silver Surfer girl, I think she was the girlfriend of the Human Torch, as my distant memory recalls. But, alright, well, that's that. Looks like I picked up the Simpsons comics, number 8. And it's got a Jungle Girl flip cover. Simpsons number 9. There was a time that Simpsons was just really great on television. And I guess it's still on, but I don't even think about it anymore. But in the late 80s, early 90s, it was really amazing television. Here's number 10. I guess they all have these flip covers. And then I guess I skipped a few issues to number 70. So I guess I wasn't a very regular reader. It's Sin City. Special edition. Here's Skate Man from Neil Adams. He wasn't really too good at coming up with his own characters, was he? But he was a really great artist. I have no idea what this is. I think it's very, very 90s looking. There's no coat. Cyber. The skunk. Oh. I have to go to the indica to even find out what this thing's called. It's apparently called the skunk. Yeah. Oh, I guess it tells me on the back. Yeah. That's, of course, where you go to look for the title. The skunk. There's a pinup. I don't know much about the skunk. Here's Sky Gal. Which is okay. Obviously this is new, and then this is 1940s art. You can tell the difference. So I guess Sky Gal must have been in public domain. So they reprinted some Sky Gal stories, and then they have a new Sky Gal story in the front, which isn't obviously as good. Okay. So Marvel must have had a license to do Disney for a while. I don't really remember that. I remember Marvel for a brief while had a license to do the Hanna-Barbera characters, and were they doing Dennis the Menace for a brief while? And then they started doing things like Heathcliff and Alf and I don't remember. This is a reprint of a 1930s era comic book adaptation of Snow White from about, when it was a new film. So that's cool. Oh, I remember this, Michael Allred. See, I'm going to pick up anything that's old-fashioned and like the Silver Age, and that's what, Michael Allred is right up my alley. Yeah, this is kind of stuff I go for. New stuff that's like the old stuff. Okay, then we have Solomon Kane. It's like a Puritan, pilgrim, kind of barbarian, religious, like if Conan the Barbarian was ultra-Christian, I guess. Well, so I know I have more issues than this. I just have issues 1 and 3 of a 6. I thought I bought the whole series. Everything's scattered in different boxes is my problem. Here's the Son of Satan. Now, that TV show that is on the air and no one even knows it because they're hoping people will just forget about it. Probably a tax write-off. It's called Hellstorm. It's on TV. Or Hellstrom, whatever. If it was like that, it would be amazing. But of course, they're never going to have the balls to actually film something that looks like that. If they did, it would be incredible. Here's Son of Satan 2. I've got all of these comics. Which, there's a guy, like an investment guy on YouTube named ETA Nick. I don't know what ETA stands for, estimated time of arrival. Anyway, he was like saying, I hope these Son of Satans become valuable with this TV show because I hate them. And I'm thinking, no, Son of Satan was cool. He also he didn't like Not Brand Echh. He couldn't wait to get rid of Not Brand Echh and Plop as well. His deal is he wants to weed his comic book collection down to 500 comics. And so he's always talking about which ones made the cut, which ones are going to be the ones for my final 500. Here again, I don't know, for this new lighting system. Next to the Ford, you see the pencil right there that says VG. That's Lone Star Comics writing that this comic's in very good condition. That's how they did it back in the old days. So that was 4, so where's issue 5? I'm missing issue 5. It must be in another box. There's no way that I don't have issue 5. No way, because whenever I saw Son of Satan comics, I'd pick them up. Here's 7. Still kind of amazing that this comic book ever got published. Because, you know, usually in the Marvel comics, they didn't call, if I'm not mistaken, they had other names for Satan, like, was it Mephisto and Satanish? Help me with this, because I don't remember. I just remember they didn't want to really use the name Satan. I think they were afraid Satan might sue them. Because I know they did the same thing with the Mafia. I think Marvel, based in New York, just didn't want to put the name Mafia in their comics. Probably some of their distributors were associated with them, and they said, we're not going to call them the Mafia. We're going to call them the Magia. So I think in Marvel Comics, whenever the Mafia is talked about, they're Maggia. Isn't that right? I'm pretty sure I'm right on that. Here's Space Adventures. Which is, looks like reprints of Steve Ditko stuff from Charlton. From the 35-cent era, yeah, these are all reprints. This is from April of '78. There's the Kiss pendant you can get. There's another issue of Space Adventures number 11. You know, Charlton knew that the Steve Ditko art that they had in their files had some value to comic collectors, so they would reprint it. Here are the popular stars of the time: Sean Cassidy, Cheryl Ladd, Farrah Fawcett Majors, Grizzly Adams, a giant-sized Sean, Parker Blue. Oh, that's the guy, the Hardy Boys guy. I guess because he's wearing a blue jacket, I call him Parker Blue. And the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, even. All right, what do we got here? Basil Wolverton's Space Funnies. And it's, at that time, I guess they were photographing it directly from old comic books, and with the best resolution I guess they could get at the time with their archival photography. Because I don't think they had access to the original artwork. There's a guy in California named Glenn Bray that's a major collector of Basil Wolverton original art. My friend that I've known since the mid-'80s that passed away a few years ago was a good friend of Glenn Bray, and I never met him. Here's Space Ghost. Now, this is not from the 60s, but I mean, they did a great job on this. It looks like it's from that era. The artwork's great. I think it was done by Steve Rude, wasn't it? Yeah, Steve Rude. Steve Rude was an amazing artist. He did that comic Nexus, which I only have a few issues of, and I need to figure out a way to just read that whole run, because, you know, I never picked it up from the first issue, so I wasn't really quite sure what was going on in it. Look at this. Space Ghost was just one of these amazing characters with an amazing design, and there was a lot left kind of open that, you know, they didn't really explain in the cartoons on Saturday morning. So here's the second issue. I guess there's more. It looks like it says 2 of 6, and I guess I don't have the rest. it's like they have a page of comics and then an ad, and it's like they never seem to have the 2 pages of comics like facing each other. A lot of ads in this. Yeah, see, whenever there's comic art, then there's ads next to it. A lot of ads in this. Yeah, see, it's just kind of weird. They have a page of comics and then have some movie ad. Oh, that's Elektra. Oh, I never saw that. I heard it was so bad. Looking at the ads popping up at the top of my phone. Here's Basil Wolverton's Space Hawk. This is from the time when Big came out. I was kind of like Tom Hanks, but I've learned things about him in the last year or so that make him seem like one of the biggest creeps in Hollywood, and pretty much everyone in Hollywood seems to be a creep. Oh, but you know, yesterday they started filming the final season, I think 6 of Better Call Saul, so I'm looking forward to that. And then I saw that Bob Odenkirk, who plays Saul Goodman, has, I guess, while he was waiting for everything to pass so they could start filming the new Better Call Saul, he must have gone out and filmed some ultra bloody John Wick, Death Wish kind of movie. I just saw the ad for that today. It's called Nobody, and it's coming out March 26th, I think. It says only in theaters, but I'm not going to a theater unless I can sit there without the mask on, because I can't sit and watch a movie for 2 hours with the mask on. And you know, tomorrow's the big day in Texas where you're not going to have to wear masks anymore. But in theory, but stores can still. I went to 2 places today. I went and got breakfast at this place called Skillet and Grill. It's a diner. And I asked the lady when I picked up breakfast for myself and my wife. I said, "Well, how are you going to handle tomorrow? Are you going to?" And she says, "Well, we're still going to wear masks, and we're going to kind of, you know, we kind of prefer that our customers wear a mask, but." And we're still going to do the 6 feet distance, and which is fine because they bought this gigantic Mexican restaurant with a wall around it. It's like a compound. They used to be in an old Sambo's, and it's a really good breakfast place. But then they bought this giant, and it's very rarely ever all the tables filled because it's like a huge place where you could have weddings. So I was kind of, and that place has a lot of very elderly people going in there, so. But they're apparently not gonna like get on your case if you don't have a mask. And then I picked up some tacos because it's Taco Tuesday at, what the hell is it called? Taco Pionero. And and I asked the guy that runs that place, and he says, well, he doesn't think that's a good idea to be getting rid of the mask yet, but he said he's still gonna be. I guess he's still gonna be wearing them. And he said someone came in earlier this morning without a mask, and he told him to put it on, but oh well. It's just really cool Basil Wolverton art. Alright, what do we got now? Space War. Reprints of old stuff to cash in on the then new Star Wars. This is number 29. Here's Space War number 30. And that looks like John Byrne art. That's gotta be. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool stuff. There were some really great artists that worked for Charlton. And they have reprints at the back. Well, that may have been a reprint too. This is good art. $31. Oh, that was... Do those others have UPC codes? Yeah. I think UPC codes started about, what, 76, 77? Oh, an issue of Spawn. Spawn number 9. I was never a regular reader of Spawn. I think it was the cover that attracted me. I actually have a couple of action figures of this character, who I think was an angel. I have the Spawn Bible. Oh, it's like a magazine all about the... This must have come out when the cartoon and the movie were coming out. It explains all the characters and stuff, which is... And then this says ages 4 and up, but I think this came with the toys. So ages 4 and up means, yeah, you know what it was? Is I bought this action figure. I have it in the other room. I hope I still have the little rubber chains, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's the one I got, and this must have come with that. It's, ooh, this is in rough shape. Special Marvel Edition. Reprinting Sergeant Fury. Okay, reading copy, you know. Spectre 13. But I know I've got a completely different box with the S's, where all the comics are alphabetized in the S's. And I've got to find that box in the other room and then merge it with this box. So I have a true snapshot of what I own, because I don't think these are all my Spectres either. It's 14. 15. 21. Spider-Girl, number 7. I like the idea of Spider-Girl, which I guess is an alternate universe daughter of Mary Jane Watson and Peter Parker. I thought it was a neat idea, but then, you know, they just kept going with it. I understand that they're going to, I guess, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to keep going with Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and then Sony is going to go on with Miles Morales. And I don't know anything about Miles Morales. I've never read any Miles Morales comics. I mean, I saw that movie, that animated movie, which was really good, but I don't know. I think there should just be one Spider-Man, pretty much. I mean, if you want to have a movie that shows alternate Spider-Man in other universes, but I don't know. So, in all their wisdom, well, you know, like, at first, there's so many different characters. They were talking about a month ago about canceling the Punisher. We got to get rid of the Punisher because his symbol is used by all these bad, veterans and Marine units and special forces. They all love to use that skull symbol. So they say, that's a bad thing because those bad people use it. And it's like, we need to get Marvel to stop putting out the Punisher. And then they went after Dr. Seuss. And then, you know, the 6 books that are just horrible. And now Dr. Seuss is selling. It's like one of the they're just bestsellers. I see them everywhere. They're all, you know, because they did that. They're selling like hotcakes. Then they came after Mr. Potato Head. It's like, we can't have someone named Mr. And then that kind of blew over, and they said, oh no, we're going to keep the name Mr. Potato Head. And then, so there's 41. This was put on the comics after 9/11. Then, what did they do? Potato Head. Oh, last night I heard from my wife that they're going after Pepe Le Pew because he's glorifies RAPE culture. In other words, that's what they get out of those cartoons, that he's a rapiste. I don't want to say these words because YouTube algorithms. So he's a bad guy. He was just a horny Frenchman. It's like those cartoons are completely innocent. They say that the next character they're going after is Speedy Gonzales. It's just like, man, they'll never stop. As long as people keep rolling over, they're gonna keep going and going. It's just ridiculous. I bought a lot of these Spider Girls. The way they drew her butt there is kind of weird. Okay, not for resale. Oh, this was, I think, in the Sunday newspaper. They were reprinting the early Steve Ditko Spider-Man comics, and they draw new covers. And they were reprints, but they're only a few pages long, so it must be they're not really reprinting the whole comics. Alright, what do we got here? The Spider presents. Now, the Spider was a character from the pulps. And the way they drew the Spider on the front of the magazines, the pulp magazines, is not the way the Spider was described in the interior of the comic. In the stories, he made himself look like a horrible guy, monstrous. And they drew him on the book covers the magazine covers to look more like the Shadow. Oh well. There's some good movie serials from the Spider. Okay, so my Spider-Man Silver Age comics are over there in those boxes. This is the beginning of my Bronze Age Spider-Man comics. As far as I'm concerned, Bronze Age begins when this cigar band, or whatever you want to call it, goes across the top. And as opposed to this corner box, to me, when that ended, the Silver Age ended. And that's not accurate according to comic book experts. That's just how I look at the world. And it makes it a very quick judgment whether something is Silver Age or Bronze Age for me. Because when I was a kid, a comic that had that kind of corner box was exotic and old. In the 60s or real early 70s, when I was just starting to collect comics. And so this is the first Bronze Age issue I have, issue 106. Yeah. Okay. And I've got, so I've got 109. Yeah, I'm missing a lot of issues. I've got 109, got 117. 117, I think it might be a reprint of with slight changes of the black and white Spectacular Spider-Man magazine from the 60s. 124 is this issue that was turned into a Power Records. I had that Power Record. I still have it. The Power Records read-along comic. I had that for many years before I found a copy of this. Okay, so that's 124. And then there's 125. And my very first issue of The Amazing Spider-Man was 127. It was bought for me by my mother when I was sick. But I didn't read it until after I got the Fantastic Four Marvel Treasury Edition number 2, which was the Fantastic Four. When I read that, I realized, wow, these Marvel characters are great. So I went back and read this, and I was just entranced, and then I kept going. Yeah. Oh, it wasn't my first Spider-Man comic. I had a Marvel team-up where we fought Werewolf by Night, but that's my first issue of Amazing Spider-Man, the regular title. Here's 131. This one I bought later. This was not a childhood copy. So by the time I read 127 and got excited about it, then I went out and bought more. And by that point, it was already up to issue 136. So this is the first one that I bought, as opposed to my mom buying it, and she'd just buy comics at random. She had pretty good taste. She bought Man-Thing #1, the first volume, and she bought the first appearance of Wolverine and Incredible Hulk 180. You know, just by chance you'd buy that. Here's 137. Here's 139. Here's 140. Here's 141. I'm going to try to stop. I'm going to slow down and let you see the covers a little longer. 142. $143. $144. Of course, we recognize Gwen Stacy's leg with their 1960s boots. Yeah, I remember. This is like 4th grade when I was reading these. 145. And ultimately, she turned out to be a clone, as I recall. 146. One second more and the old lady dies. 147. I know these should be in the A's, but I'm just starting to put all my Spider-Man comics in the S's. Too many different variations, and here's 148. It's too confusing, and I don't really care to be confused anymore. Not 149. When these were out on the radio, the Carpenters and Helen Reddy were playing, you know, so to give you a sense of time. 150. This is a cover I always liked. 151. So, you know, in the 90s, Spider-Man didn't look like this. The John Romita Spider-Man and then, you know, the Steve Ditko Spider-Man are my Spider-Men. You know, spitting. You know, the Todd McFarlane look, I just really didn't care for. Man, I'm sure he's a nice guy and everything. 153. And these show like something that actually happens in the book. For a long time, they were just doing poses on the cover that had nothing really to do with the action in the book. So that's 154, so why am I missing, where's 155 and 156? Probably in another box. I'll get all this organized. Oh, is this the same one? I have 2 copies of 157. It'd be wonderful if this was some super valuable issue and then I could make some extra money with my extra copy. There's good old Robert Bell. Wonder if he really did look like Thor with the letter B all over his uniform. There was a comic book shop in Fort Worth. They put ads in the price guide, and it was Tanner Miles. He sold posters and stuff, and he drew himself. He looked like a blonde Conan the Barbarian on the. When I finally get to that store when I was in college, he didn't quite look like the illustration I saw as a kid in the price guide. But that's okay. I guess I have 2 copies of 158 as well. Man, Shang-Chi looks like he needs to eat a little bit more there. A little too thin and emaciated. Eagle-Eye G.I. Joe meets the Intruder. Yeah, cool. Then 159. Last 25-cent issue. No, I lied. No, these are out of order. What the freaking heck? Oh no, it just fell over. 158, yeah. Still only 25 cents. 159. 160, it goes up to 30 cents. What is Spider-Man up to now? Is it past 1,000 yet in the numbering? 161. Oh, I have 2 161s. 2 161s. And that's a pretty early crossover from the new X-Men. And Punisher's in it. 162. $163. $164. What year are we up to here? Ooh, that kind of tells me a lot. $6 Million Man ad. January 77. So I'm in the middle of 6th grade when this came out. 165. Oh, a Christmas issue. I'm not going to pull it and put it with the Christmas issues. That would, maybe I should. $167. I like the shading on his face there. That's good. Reminds me of a few of the early Steve Ditko issues. I like when they add the shading. 168. Um, 169. $170. Then I think this was a two-part thing where you had to buy an issue of Nova to find out how it ended, to con people into buying Nova, which was a pretty good comic. There's 172. These Orca ads. That movie, I don't think anyone ever saw that movie. 173. He's back, the pulse-pounding Punisher. 174. $175. 176. This doll kneels down and says her bedtime prayers. Nothing to wind up, no string to pull. Whenever you want to, she says, now I lay me down to sleep. I pray thee, Lord. Wow. The praying doll. 177. Walkie-talkies. Those were really cool in the days before cell phones. Yeah, they're just cool. 178. The reason why kids would want to get walkie-talkies today is because you can listen in to what the principal at your school is up to, where they're at, because the principal will always talk back to the office and to some people with walkie-talkies. So if you're a bad kid and you got walkie-talkies, you could, I don't know, I saw them for sale. I saw they were selling walkie-talkies at the Big Lots the other day when I was there. So maybe they're still cool to somebody. 182. Sometimes I'll call my cell phone my walkie-talkie. I'll tell my wife, call me on the walkie-talkie, because I remember Beetlejuice, little guy on Howard Stern would say, call me on my walkie-talkie. I thought, that's cool to call your cell phone a walkie-talkie. I like to call modern things by old names to show that I'm resisting the advance of time. You know, like the Kroger down the street, I call it Kmart still because it used to be a Kmart. So it's just one of those annoying things I do intentionally. I figure if I do it enough, it will just magically turn back into a Kmart. That's 186. Ooh, this was not a good time. Marvel's TV sensation. It was not a sensation. But if you get the Disney Plus, the Disney Channel, streaming Disney Channel, there's a series called 616. I haven't watched any episodes but one. I only saw part of it. I need to finish it. It's about the Japanese Spider-Man TV show that ran at the same time as our Spider-Man, and it was amazing. With you fought monsters, and he had a car and a giant robot, and he looked exactly like he looked more like Spider-Man than the one that was in our TV series, because our TV series, he had a white, like a silver utility belt that broke the lines of the costume, and it's really good. And I talked to the people that put that show together. Anyway, there's 188. So that's an episode, I think it's called 616, and I don't remember what 616 means. I'm sure it has some amazing meaning to somebody, and someone will tell me down below what it means. So, WandaVision's over. I think they're skipping a week, then they're going to start the Captain America Sidekick Show. 190. I think that's where I get that laugh from.
You want to visit a haunted house? Hmm?
Sure.
I
192.
think I have one that should suit you. That is, if you dare follow me. You will? Fine.
193.
Shall we go then? Here we are.
What did they do for issue 200? I don't remember.
Haunting.
194. Oh, I bet this is worth something to somebody because it's got the first appearance of the Black Cat. I need to look that up. Here's 195. So we see where we're at now with the first Star Trek movie. That's 79. Plus, by this point, they had put the date on the sides. You don't have to open up. It's 196. That's kind of a cool cover. 197. 198. 199. I bought it at Lone Star Comics because it has that. That's a direct edition, and then they have a line through that. Oh, here's 200. Our 200th issue anniversary spectacular. Rom, the Space Knight. Would have been cool if they could have gotten Steve Ditko back or something for issue 200. But oh well. 201. Spider-Man and the Punisher. 202. Oh, that's when it finally came out. 203. The Dazzler. 203, and then I'm missing 204 and 205. Why would I be? I don't know why I would be missing 2 issues. Unless I was growing disenchanted with the art or something at this point. Denny O'Neil wrote this. Yeah. Yeah, the art was not as good at this point. What the hell? Oh, look at this. They have a ad for that's the same art that's on my 7-Eleven X-Men cup. Alan Milgram and Brett Breeding. John Romita Jr. layouts. See,
Here it is, the #1 song in Grotuville. 106.9 FM WFUN.
There's oh, this Comic Books for Sale, December 31st, 1980. It's a 2-page spread. I can't read it. Let's see, what does Fantastic Four #1 cost? Do they even have it? Fantastic Four is $25 through $30 or $20. They're already pretty high prices, but oh well. 209. This goth band they're trying to cancel this band. They're out of Houston because at some point the lady that's singing had some conservative viewpoints on some social media, so they're trying to cancel her and say she's just a horrible Nazi. And then there's a really good band out of Austin called Dream Machine, and they're kind of a 60s kind of band. They're really good. And the guy, there's a guy and a girl in that band too, like this one, and the girl came from some Eastern European country, and she's made some comments about how great the United States is. Now all the hippies in Austin are after that band, wanting them to get their record contract canceled, but I think they put out their own records. It's just freedom of speech. They're trying to make sure we don't have that. 212. I probably shouldn't even be talking about it here. 212. 213. Yeah, then I go to 220 because it looks like I'm getting distracted from my comic collecting. Oh, it's a Moon Knight issue. Or maybe it's... I don't know. What's going on? Crisis on Campus. Seems like there's another issue that has Crisis on the Campus. Isn't it about issue 98? There's always these crises on the campuses. Oh man. This is 228. I don't like how they drew Spider-Man. He's just like two. Look at his legs, man. He looks like you know what he looks like? Looks like Joe. You put a spider suit on Joe Biden. That's probably what Joe Biden's legs look like. You know, his hairy legs turn blonde in the sun. Little kids like to rub my hair down when it was wet and watch it pop up again. Well, 241. But he's a great president. More people voted for him than any other president in the history of our republic. Oh, I'm sorry, our democracy. It's not a republic at all, it's a democracy. My mistake. So why do we say into the republic for which it stands, one nation? Why don't we say into the democracy? Maybe it is a republic. Didn't Benjamin Franklin say? Some lady came up to Benjamin Franklin when they were writing the Constitution. They'd gotten it finished. This lady comes up to Benjamin Franklin as he comes out. She says, "Mr. Franklin, what kind of government are we going to have?" And he says, "A republic, madam, if you can keep it." And maybe we aren't going to keep it, but we're not going to give up. No giving up. 246. I've got to caution myself not to despair. 250.
Here's yet another great record, WFUN FM.
Boy, Peter Parker looks a little, man, he looks like me with this dark shit under my eyes. 250, then I missed 251, but I came back for this issue, which is apparently worth lots of money. Because all these people that grew up in the 90s just think, oh, that's the bee's knees, that black costume. And then I have the next issue, 253. It's the bee's knees, man. It's 23 Skidoo. 257. But the black costume's what kind of turned me off. 258. Then the black costume grew into Venom. And if I had just stuck with it and got those early Venom issues, then, well, then I'd be set, wouldn't I be? But I just don't give a shit about Venom and Carnage. I know that's going to cause me to lose subscribers. And I don't care about Todd McFarlane. And I kind of like this issue where they have someone wearing this photograph. There was a movie that came out called The Green Goblin's Last Stand. I remember mail ordering it and getting a early, I think it was an early DVD, home recorded DVD. Either that or it was a VHS cassette. I think it was a DVD, because I had read about this guy that was in like college age, and he made his own homemade movie on videotape adapting the death of Gwen Stacy. And he went out with a homemade Spider-Man suit and actually did the going from one building to another, swinging, doing all these Spider-Man stunts. He did it all his own stunts, incredibly dangerous stuff. And I wanted to see that, so he sent me a real nice letter and sent me his movie, and now it's on YouTube. It's called The Green Goblin's Last Stand, and that's what that picture reminded me of, you know. And of course, that was before the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, so it was just cool to see Spider-Man for real. Is this Todd McFarlane? It must be, because he draws all the extra webs. Eric Larson penciler. Randy Emberlin. No, it is not Todd McFarlane. It's the amazing 350th issue. And look how they drew Mary Jane. See, I like the 60s Mary Jane. That's like some weird thing. And then they took away the logo that I was used to. What is up with this? This is damaged. This is the logo they used on the cartoon on Saturday morning. So apparently got two covers. But it looks like it has, this damage looks like it happened at the newsstand. That didn't happen in my possession. It's bad damage. Yeah, it's really bad damage up there. Oh, it's really fucked up. I hope this isn't a valuable issue. God, see, I hated this kind of art. I mean, the way they drew this woman, it's just ridiculous. This is when, and you know, I just didn't like this style of art. I don't know. I don't mean to offend you guys. What are we dealing with here? 94. Yeah, that's why. Okay, here's some fancy issue 400 with a tombstone. See, they like to do these little tricky damn covers.
I've got the girl, oh what a girl, she's got a smile, you walk a while to see. I had a heart, I lost my heart, inside the beat.
Well, they have some John Romita Sr. inking in here. Inking over his son's art. Wait, what was that? 400? What? Oh, 400. Here's 402. There's 403. Is that the last Amazing Spider-Man I bought? No. What is this? Peter Parker Spider-Man Reborn. God, this artwork's really twisted. It's got the Sandman. It's... Look at his eyeball is coming out of his socket. This is, yeah, this is like drawn by some insane guy. This is kind of cool, I guess. Okay, this is the Amazing Spider-Man. This is the issue where he's there right after the Twin Towers collapse. So I don't know what this is, if it's what it even is, but it's cool. Kind of cool. Here's the annual for 1976. That's 10. 11. So that would be 77. So this would be the 1978 annual. Here's 13. So I guess that's 1980. Here's the 81 annual. Okay, now we're at 18, so that's issue, I think it's 91. Is that one 91? No, it can't be. That's 84. Because this one with the wedding is 1987. And this is 24. And then here's the 1973 special issue. This is a reprint of the black and white comic. And this is a giant size comic when they were doing all the giant size comics. And this is the instruction sheet from the Aurora model kit when it was reissued around 74. Wait, there's more Amazing Spider-Man comics. But they're not what they fucking are. Because they didn't do the legacy numbering for a while. It's just like number 26. And this pissed me off so much. 27.
They say I'm mad.
28.
He's mad.
I must have bought this for a reason. I think I heard this was really good. I don't know. It's not. That artwork doesn't offend me.
Aha! It's the people!
Boy, is he nuts.
This is John Romita Jr. Penciler. I guess John Romita Jr. is okay. It kind of looks okay, I guess. 33. 35. Yeah. 37. The face he's making looks like he's in Playgirl magazine or something. 38.
It can't be done.
40. Oh, by this point they have the legacy numbering, so this is really issue 481. And this one is really oh, I have them out of order. This is 480.
They got to drop the net over him. Oh, loony!
482. 483. Yeah, these have those 9/11 ribbons. I don't know how long they did it after that happened. 484. 485. 486. You know what I think was going on is when the movies came out and I got excited about the Sam Raimi movies, it probably prompted me to go and buy the comics again, because that has to be why I was starting to buy them again, because that kind of thing would get me excited. Oh, I gotta pick up the comic again because I always loved it and that movie was so great. That's 492. So do I have issue 500? They must have done something special for it. 493. 494.
All right, you sex monks. Come on, we're gonna sing punk songs for everybody.
Spider-Man Lifeline.
Get out your safety pins.
Oh, this was good
Let's go.
because is it Steve Rude probably? Yeah. Because it's Steve Rude and he makes it look like an old Spider-Man comic. But I don't have issue 1. I have 2, and I have 3. So that's something I got to get when I recover financially. Peter Parker Spider-Man. Because there was another comic, this Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man, and I have issue 1, and a lot of those, I probably have those under the P's, and I got to put it all together. I don't even know what this is. Is this continuation of Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man? It's issue 131. 35. That's a really bad drawing of Spider-Man. He looks like, what's wrong with him? All right. God damn, man. This artwork. It looks like balls there, like it looks kind of perverted, like looks like he's sucking a dick or something. Who is this fucking artist that can't draw with a shit? Who is that even supposed to, is that supposed to be what? J. Jonah, it's supposed to be J. Jonah Jameson. Okay, I don't know. I don't really fucking remember these comics at all. I guess they're not that bad inside. I don't know. They're wonderful. Oh yeah, they're doing all kinds of experimental art, you know, like this kind of goofy. They're trying out all these different artists. This must have been a comic where they experimented a little bit. 43. Yeah, because it looks like every issue they did little experimental art where it looks like, yeah, and then, yeah, this is during the time period where I was real excited about the new Spider-Man movie coming out, and see here, it's promoting the first Spider-Man movie coming out, so I must have gotten excited about Spider-Man because I remember there's a website called superherohype.com that talks about upcoming movies, but back then, when it first started, it was called spidermanhype.com, and it was just, you'd go there every day and find out the latest news about Spider-Man. I remember the first time they showed a photograph of what Tobey Maguire's suit was going to look like, and it was just so exciting back all 20 years ago. So I started buying all the Spider-Man comics, I guess, as I, was just so excited about this upcoming movie, especially with Sam Raimi doing it, because I had a lot of confidence in him. And this is kind of cool. It's done with like a computer video game. It's computery, but what I kind of like about it is it reminds me of Richard Corbin's art. I don't know. So this is called Spider-Man Quality of Life. I have no memory of this, but it's cool looking, kind of. No memory. I remember liking Ultimate Spider-Man, though. I didn't think I would like this Ultimate shit. And then, once I was sure they aren't really replacing the real comics with these alternate universe comics, I kind of loosened up and enjoyed them. But what I didn't really fully realize is they were intending these comics to be, they were trying to show Hollywood how they could adapt Marvel Comics by kind of starting over and making what they thought would be good movie versions of their comics. So they were kind of already trying to mitigate the damage of Hollywood changing their characters. So, and ultimately that is kind of what happened, because the Avengers, they rebooted it and they were called the Ultimates. And the way the Avengers movies ultimately looked did follow, especially with Thor, the look of the Ultimates comics, but still with a lot of the flavor of the old 60s comics. Ultimate Spider-Man 11, and I read the Ultimate X-Men too. I like that, and I read the Ultimates Avengers, although I didn't like them. Didn't they have Hulk kind of like as a rapist or something? I didn't like that. And then they really played up the domestic abuse between Giant Man or Ant-Man and the Wasp, and those were some problems I had with that. This is 15. But see, this is like, I remember for a long period of time, Marvel Comics just had a hero, you know, just doing something on the cover. It has nothing really to do with the inside. Like, this could have been the cover of any issue of Spider-Man, but it's Kraven the Hunter, but they just, and that was the way it was for a long time. It seems like on comics. But this one, at least, it shows that Dr. Octopus is the villain. But I'll tell you, that amazing, no, it was just called Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi ones. The second one with Dr. Octopus was such a great movie. You've seen all these. I don't know why I'm showing you this. It really looks kind of shitty. It looks kind of like bad van art. But as I recall, it's better inside. Yeah, art is better inside, but the paintings on the covers look like a high school kid, like a really talented high school kid did them. Yeah. Here's 24. Boy, this is taking a long time to get through this box. 25. 26. 27. Oh, I have 2 copies of 28. I have no idea why. 29. Oh, come on. How many did I fucking buy? It just keeps going. I guess I bought this for a long time. 30. 31. 32. 33. 34. 35. 36. Oh, you can get a Game Boy Daredevil game. 37. I kept going with this for a while, didn't I? 38. Looks like I was buying the Ultimate Spider-Man and not the real Spider-Man. 39. I've got 2 39s. How about that? 40. Okay, we're up to 2003 with this bootleg Hulk movie. The one that was all about how he was abused as a child, and the angrier he got, he became gigantic, like King Kong. at least it showed Hulk jumping, you know, and I think, you know, clapping his hands together and jumping, you know, great distances in the desert. That was kind of cool to see the Hulk doing that, but Hulk was done much better once the Marvel Cinematic Universe started. 44. 45. It's just so horrible because these covers are also lackluster. 46. Someone started following me on Instagram. The Two Tronics. 47. I need one more person. Maybe I've got it. Like, I don't know yet, but I need one more person to get to 200 followers on YouTube. But I think I was still at 199 when I went to get the tacos. 51. Oh, thank God that's the end. Maybe that's when they stopped publishing that. What is this? Ultimate Marvel Spectacular. It's some kind of magazine. Yes. I don't know. I guess just buying anything then. Oh, I remember this. This is Spider-Man Blue. Spider-Man Blue. Yeah, it looks better than most of this shit. And this is book 3. Yeah, it's good. Oh yeah, this is good. This is like Peter Bagg doing a Spider-Man comic. Peter Bagg, the guy behind Hate. Wow, forgot about that. Here's a Christmas Spider-Man Tangled Web, but it's cool art. Yeah, that's because it's Darwin Cook. Yeah, well, there's certain artists that are so great. First to 4 collector's item issues. Beginning a 4-issue pictorial history of the world's greatest non-mutant superhero. So it's just like a little magazine that tells about Spider-Man's history. Spider-Man Saga. And this is 2. Okay, I remember this too. This is The Thousands. Yeah, this has good artwork too. Yeah, that's good. Two of 3. 3 of 3. Oh, here's another one of those Tangled Web. Darwin Cook. Yeah, look at that. Great stuff. I got it. Why can't... Wait. How long did that series go on? Because this says Spider-Man Tangled Web number 21, and this is 11? Was there a series with Darwin Cook that went that long with that cool artwork? I gotta look into that. Spider-Man Magazine. This was something they put out. This got on regular newsstands in the era when most comics weren't on newsstands anymore. These spinner racks were disappearing, and these are reprints. It's like for kids just discovering Spider-Man because of the cartoon, to read a bunch of old Spider-Man comics. That's what they were trying to do with this. Spider-Man Magazine. Yeah. That's my memory of what that was. Oh, look at this. Spider-Man and the Black Cat. Artwork inside's good. This is meant to catch male attention at the comic stores. Now that's very common. Spider-Man Sweet Surety. Oh my gosh. Marvel Knights. I wonder what horribly inappropriate stuff is in this for it to be a Marvel Knights comic. Wizard Spider-Man Special. Yeah, I guess my Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man comics are elsewhere. This is, I have several of this. This is Work in Progress, talking about the Spider-Man cartoon. Here's Amazing Spider-Man Super Special #1 from the 90s. Maybe that's worth something, I don't know. Okay, Spider-Man Collector's Preview. The Clone, the Toys, the Comics. What is this? Spider-Man 46? I don't know what this is. Is it part of? It's not part of the Amazing Spider-Man. Maybe it's some separate. The official Marvel Index to Spider-Man #6. Well, that's that box. A lot of Spider-Man stuff that needs to be bagged and boarded. We have a box here that's in the C's that starts with Conan the Barbarian 37. I'll show you those in a future, maybe tomorrow. I need to find the early Conans and put them with this. King Conan, Cosmic Cross, Daredevil, yeah. Cool stuff. Death Rattle, yeah, Death's Head, I remember that shit. Okay, well, it's hot up here. So what do you think it'll be like tomorrow when they lift the mask mandate? I wonder. Well, that looks pretty cool. I'll go into the stores like this. No, I don't think I can get the helmet on and the glasses. Don't think that'll work. Don't think that'll work. Shoot! Kmart stores we have a store. Kmart is your savings store, where your dollar buys you more. There's only 2 strings on this guitar, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's suppose you just come up with a new soft drink.
I think some had broken off
Tingling soft
in its history.
clear and brisk and bubbly, and it was called Sprite.
Kmart is your savings store.
Short of making them buy a bottle. Or one way would be with music. Tart and tingling, you could describe like this. Clear and
This is
brisk,
the first
like
Sprite ad. It's
bright
cool.
and bubbly this way. And then you could add some words, mix it all together, and this is what you'd get.
Hey, shit. Hey, Kalachi Monster. Hey, how you doing? What's up, Kalachi Monster? I've been hanging out with the boys here. Boys. is, yes. Well, what do you think, Kalachi Monster? Did you appreciate the Spider-Man comics?
Oh boy, yes, I really love Spider-Man. Spider-Man, ooh my gosh. Be seeing you